your cup by the sink. Still got your ring in my drawer. I fold your hoodie too neat, like it might come back for more. The chair still leans your way at the edge of the kitchen light. I keep your name in my mouth, like a seed I can't spit out. Every night I try to sleep, but the truth keeps waking me up. Love and broken heart, love and broken heart. You took the best of me and left the rest to scar. Love and broken heart, love and broken heart. I still reach for you, then I fall apart. Your toothbrush turned to dust on the shelf by the cracked blue tile. I keep the old voicemail just to hear you say my name one more time. The porch swing squeaks at dawn, like it knows what we turned into. I keep your name in my mouth, like a seed I can't spit out. Every night I try to sleep, but the truth keeps waking me up. Love and broken heart, love and broken heart. You took the best of me and left the rest to scar. Love and broken heart, love and broken heart. I still reach for you, then I fall apart. If you call, I might answer. If you don't, I still will wait. I learned how to miss you slow. That's the cruelest kind of fate. Now the mirror knows my face, but it don't know who I was. Love and broken heart, love and broken heart. You took the best of me and left the rest to scar. Love and broken heart, love and broken heart. I still reach for you, then I fall apart. Sunday dress on the line, mud on the porch again. She packed that little blue bag and looked right through my hand. Mama said, boy, let it go, but the house kept my name. I heard the screen door moan, I heard the old left with the summer rain. She left with the summer rain.
Oh, she left.
She took my heart in the sunlight, left me standing in the grain. She left with the summer rain. She left with the summer rain.
How could you go?
Now every road tastes empty, and I call your name in vain. The supper got cold by 7. Beans sat quiet in the pan. Your red scarf on the chair back, like a ghost with a wedding band. I walked down to the levee where the river hit the clay. Saw your footprints in the puddles, then the water took them away. Thunder rolled across the fields, blackbirds cut the air. I kept one eye on the horizon, like you might still be there. She left with the summer rain. She left with the summer rain.
Oh, she left.
She took my heart in the sunlight, left me standing in the grain. She left with the summer rain. She left with the summer rain.
How could you go?
Now every road tastes empty, and I call your name in vain. Lord, I tried to keep my hands from shaking in the pew, tried to pray you turn around, but the water pulled you through. If mercy ever has a door, if grace knows where you've been, let it find you on some dirt road, let it bring you home again. She left with the summer rain. She left with the summer rain.
Oh, she left.
She took my heart in the sunlight, left me standing in the grain. She left with the summer rain. She left with the summer rain.
How could you go?
Now every road tastes empty, and I call your name in vain. The night train moans far off, the porch light flickers low. I got a Bible and a memory, and a love I can't let go. She left with the summer rain. We were summer on an old front porch, bare feet, warm air, and a screen door side. Your name in my hand on a folded note, like you wrote forever in a crooked line. We drove out past the county line with the windows down and the radio's loud. Old highways cut through the wheat fields slow, and I swore your smile could quiet a crowd. You wore that warm leather jacket home from the smoky bar on 2nd Street. I still see the light on your hair that night when you laughed at the world and held my sleeve. We traded dreams in a booth by the jukebox, 2 coins, 1 beer, and a shaking hand. You said we'd make it on a song and a tank of gas, and I believed every word like a man. Then the miles got long between our cars, and the silences grew roots in the cracks. I tried to keep your voice in my chest, but 1,000 small things don't come back. The letters slowed, the warm ink faded, the world went cold in a narrow frame. And I stood there staring at the mailbox like I could still call your name. You were mine forever, my open road. Now I'm the last one, still carrying the load. You were mine forever, till the truth cut through. I gave you my whole heart. What was I to you? What was I to you? I found your photograph in a record sleeve where a broken needle circled dust. You were smiling under a summer sky, and I could feel my own heart rust. There was lipstick on an empty glass at the edge of a table in a roadside bar. Somebody said you'd been there last week with a man who drove a dark blue car. I didn't want to believe their words, so I drove all night through the midnight rain, past fading neon and abandoned motels, with your shadow riding in my brain. Room 12 had a busted lamp and a stain on the bedspread's torn edge. I sat with my hands on my knees like a man waiting at the end of a ledge. The phone kept quiet on the nightstand, the clock kept chewing through the dark. I thought of your laugh, your tender lies, how a small crack can split a heart. Maybe you were lonely, maybe I was blind, maybe love just bends till it breaks. But betrayal has a face in the mirror, and it's hard to unlearn the ache. I kept seeing us in that old red truck, your head on my shoulder, singing low. Now every promise that once felt holy feels like a road I can't quite know. I wanted rage, I wanted answers, I wanted proof I could burn away. But all I found in the cold morning wind was a name I couldn't say. You were mine forever, my open was I to you? What was I to you? I broke down near the river bridge, where the pickup lights sank into dawn. The sky went pale like an unpaid debt, and I watched our old world come undone. I heard your voice in the rushing water, not begging, not calling, just thin and far, like the echo of a song I loved that never knew where its ending scars. I thought of all the stupid fights, the slam doors, the weeks of pride, how we let 1,000 little absences sit between us and swallow the tide. If I'd said stay, would you have stayed? If I'd listened, would you have told the truth? If I'd reached for you in the falling dark, would I still be losing you? There's no clean way through a love like this, no easy prayer, no simple grace, just two good people changing shape, and a storm that leaves no trace. So I forgive the knife in the hand that held, I forgive the road, I forgive the rain, I forgive the girl I loved like breathing, and the man who couldn't stop the pain. We were so I remember July still on your skin, and the screen door slamming in the wind. You were laughing barefoot on your porch, me with a freight train heart and a borrowed Ford. We drove old Highway 9 till the stars came out, mud on the tires and a half-told doubt. Your hand on my knee like a promise made, like the whole damn world could be delayed. Small town bar with the cracked red booth, jukebox glow and a mouthful of truth. You wrote my name on a napkin edge, said I'll stay close, I swear I pledge. We drank cheap beer and we talked till late, about New Orleans, Denver, some far off fate. You said love could live on an open road if two hearts hauled the same old load. And I believed you, every word, every soft little vow I heard. I was young enough to call it fate, old enough to know it might not wait. And the summer leaned into a cooler light, and the shadows got longer by a week each night. Your letters came slow, then not at all, and I started hearing silence like a breaking wall. I kept your picture in my leather coat, kept your last sentence in my throat, but the miles grew teeth and the hours went thin, and I felt the first crack setting in. I still see us in the rain, I still hear your name. Love was fire, love was pain, now it falls like rain. I still reach for yesterday, but it drifts away. If your heart was bound to change, why'd you love me that way? Winter came crawling through the freight yard gate, cold morning wind and a coffee stain. Your handwriting faded in my desk drawer. One folded page, then another one more. You said you were busy, said you were tired, said the distance pulled like a live wire. I said I understood, I said okay, but I was counting every day. Then I saw you once in a borrowed town, under barroom glass with your head bowed down. Not alone, not exactly, not looking back, just a stranger's smile in a midnight crack. The room went still when our eyes met, like a broken record on a cigarette set. You looked ashamed, then you looked away, and my whole December turned to gray. I wanted anger, wanted a fight, wanted some reason sharp and bright, but all I had was a shaking hand and a heart that still tried to understand. So I drove on home through a hard cold storm. Worn leather jacket, no place warm. The highway lit up with passing knives, and I wondered how love survives. Then the motel sign on Route 12 burned low, and I pulled in just to sit and know. Empty whiskey glass, cracked mirror light, 1,000 questions in the night. How does forever turn to dust? How do you break something built on trust? I kept your letter like a wound, while the radio hummed an empty tune. I still see us in the rain, I still hear your name. Love was fire, love was pain. Now it falls like rain. I still reach for yesterday, but it drifts away. If your heart was bound to change, why'd you love me that way? Years got lean and the road got long. I learned to live with a busted song. Found your photograph behind my seat, sun, faded edges, two smiling teeth. You wore that jacket with the frayed up sleeve, like you never meant to leave. I traced your face with my thumb one night, under a porch bulb dim and white. There were rumors passed in the county store, things about us I ignored before. Someone said you were gone for good, someone said you found a different hood. I never knew which stories were true, only knew the ache kept going through. I played our tune on an old guitar, the strings all rusted, the notes too hard. Every bend felt like your voice, every pause felt like my choice to keep on loving what was lost, or count the months and pay the cost. And I kept choosing pain over grace, kept chasing the echo of your face, till even the dawn looked tired and blue. And I knew the hardest thing was through, because truth don't arrive like a clean white flag. It comes in pieces in no mail bag. A friend of mine said he'd seen your car parked by a place with a broken star. I stood there frozen in the county dust, trying to make peace with what we trust. If you were running, if you were free, what was left of you for me? I still see us in the rain, I still hear your name. Love was fire, love was pain. Now it falls like rain. I remember July still on your skin, and the screen door slamming in the wind. I remember July still on your skin, and the bell above the door used to sound like grace. You slid that paper cup across to my place. Steam curled off the lid like a warning sign. You said, don't make this hard. And I said, I'll be fine. Your spoon tapped twice on the saucer rim, a little silver prayer for what was left of him. The cashier looked away like she knew the score. In the rain on the window, couldn't say it anymore. I kept my hand on the mud like it was all I had. You stared at your cold pie and then made it bad. I heard heaven in the hum of that broken old fan. And you took a breath, and I knew where we stand. Coffee shop goodbye. Coffee shop goodbye. Break my heart in half, then leave me alive. Coffee shop goodbye. Coffee shop goodbye. One last bitter sip, and we both walk out. You wore that faded coat with the torn up cuff, the one you wore the night you said we were enough. Your keys sat in the ashtray like a little chain. I watched you turn them once, then hand them back again. The sugar jar was full, but the night went dry. A server wiped the counter and never asked us why. There was a cracked blue plate with a slice of lime, and I saw our whole damn summer fold inside that time. You said it ain't you, but it landed like blame. Said we changed too slow, then you called my name. I wanted to shout amen to something I could keep, but your eyes were already half a mile deep. Coffee shop goodbye. Coffee shop goodbye. Break my heart in half, then leave me alive. Coffee shop goodbye. Coffee shop goodbye. can still make you grieve. I heard the old fan groan like a choir in pain, and I swore that place would never taste the same. Coffee shop, goodbye. Coffee shop, goodbye. Break my heart in half, then leave me alive. Coffee shop, goodbye. Coffee shop, goodbye. One last bitter sip, and we both walk out. Coffee shop, goodbye. I met you where the summer burned, on a Friday in a Milltown bar. You were laughing at a broken jukebox under that one red ceiling star. I still see your worn leather jacket on the back of that chipped up chair, and the way your eyes said forever, like forever was already there. We drove out past the cotton fields in my dad's old faded Ford, past the water tower, past the freight tracks, past every word we'd ever stored. You wrote me notes on dining napkins, folded tight in a cigarette tin. Said, I'll build a life with you, baby. And I believed you then. We had the road, we had the night, we had the moon on the dash. You kissed my knuckles at the red light, said nothing good can move this fast. I held that promise like a prayer, took it home and put it in my chest. I thought love was a straight line, I thought ours was blessed, but the road don't keep your promises, and time don't keep its vows. I loved you like a hard rain loves the ground. I loved you then, I love you now. Some things break slow, some things break loud. I loved you like a hard rain loves the ground, and I'm still learning how. We were young and full of future, with a map and half a tank, talking about a little brick house and a porch with rusted paint. You wanted music, I wanted miles. You wanted roots, I wanted sky. We made our dreams into a fire, let it warm us while we tried. I kept your letters in my glove box, in the slide by the broken latch, ink smudged by August heat, but every line came back intact. Don't be late, call me when you land. Save a dance for me downtown. Those words were little silver nails that kept our whole world down. Then the highway got between us, a state line and a cold phone. You in a room with the curtains drawn, me in towns that felt like bone. The silence and started working on us like rust on a chain link fence. Little cracks where truth could slip through, little lies that made no sense. I saw your name in someone else's story, in the smoke outside a bar. I heard a laugh that sounded like you from a parked car in the dark. Maybe I should have asked you sooner. Maybe I should have held you tight. But pride makes fools of honest men, and love can lose a fight. So I drove all night through midnight rain with your last note on my seat. The windshield split in silver rivers, and the cold kept time with my heartbeat. I wanted one more chance to say, what the hell went wrong with us? But when I reached your side of town, the trust was just dust, and the road don't keep your promises, and time don't keep its vows. I loved you like a hard rain loves the ground. I loved you then, I love you now. Some things break slow, some things break loud. I loved you like a hard rain loves the ground, and I'm still learning how. I found your photograph in April, tucked behind an old motel bill. Two smiling kids in faded denim, like the world could never get still. Your face was bright as broken sunlight, your hand was resting in my shirt. Now I'm staring at that picture like it's trying not to hurt. It was a night in room 12, with the ice machine and thin white walls, where you said we'd had our last goodbye, and the whole world heard us fall. I remember the empty whiskey glasses, the TV glow, the peeling paint, the way you turned your face to the window, like love had made you faint. Then the years came like a freight train, slow at first, then all at once. I wore your memory like a jacket, and it fit me like the sun. Some nights I could still taste the summer, still smell gas and river mud, still hear our tires on the shoulder, still feel your hand in the glove. But mornings came. We were kids with a map and a tank of gas, two bright hearts and a rusted Chevrolet. Summer heat on the windshield glass, your hand in mine made the whole world stay. You wore that smile like a promise kept. I wore a worn-out jacket in a borrowed dream. We talked so big we could barely breathe, swore forever was as close as it seemed. We found our songs in a smoky bar, where the floorboards shook and the glasses rang. You leaned in close when the old guitars cried like they knew every word we sang. You wrote me letters on hotel paper, little crooked lines in a careful hand. Said no matter where these roads may take us, we'll still be the same two kids at the end of the band. And I believed you, I believed that fire. I could see our names cut through the telephone wire. Every sunset looked like a door left open. Every mile we crossed felt like love was growing. We were never supposed to break, never supposed to bend that way. We were promised in the heat. We were forever on a summer day. Now I hold your name like glass, careful in my shaking hands. We were never supposed to break, but love don't always do what it plans. Then the long road started calling you, and I stayed behind with the same old town. Your letters came with the strangest truth, less ink in them, more silence in the sound. You said the work had worn you thin. I said I understood, I said I'd wait. But the days went cold in a stubborn wind, and the hours turned into a locked up gate. There were nights I'd sit in that corner booth, watching rain slide down the neon sign. An empty whiskey glass, a cracked red sea, and your face in every passing line. I kept your photograph in my wallet, folded soft from the years and the heat. You were laughing there by a motel pool, in a leather jacket and bare feet. But the quiet grew like a wall between us. Words went missing where the truth should meet us. I tried to call, you tried to answer. Somewhere in the dark, we lost the answer. We were never supposed to break, never supposed to bend that way. We were a promise in the heat. We were forever on a summer day. Now I hold your name like glass, careful in my shaking hands. We were never supposed to break, but love don't always do what it plans. I found out the hard way about the lies, the little half-truths and the stories bent. A friend from the edge of another night said your heart had gone where my letters went. Not all at once, just slow as smoke, slow as a record losing its song. I kept hearing change in the way you spoke, like a door closing soft but wrong. There was one old motel off Route 9 with a buzzing lamp and a broken shade. I drove there thinking I might still find the girl who swore that the vows we made could outlast weather, a debt and distance, could outlast doubt, could outlast time. But the room just held an empty curtain, and the cold morning wind till it tasted like rust. Played our record till the grooves went thin. The needle jumped on the same old trust, and I heard the place where we both gave in. I saw us dancing in the doorway, bare feet on wood, your head on my chest. I saw the night when you almost cried, and I told you love could pass any test. But love ain't a lock, and it ain't a chain. It's a river changing under the moon. It can feed the land and it can flood the plain, then leave you staring at an empty room. I kept one ticket stub, one birthday note, one matchbook from that bar on 3rd. Funny how the smallest things survive when the biggest truths go unheard. I was angry, then I was aching, then I was just plain tired. A heart can burn and still not catch a fire. I wanted blame, I wanted thunder. All I found was me, and the ground pulled under. We were never supposed to break, never supposed to bend that way. We were
I still see that August turn, the sky red over Route 9. You in that warm leather jacket, me with a radio in time. We were young enough to swear it, like a church vow by the mill. Your laugh on the hood of my Chevy could make a hard world stand still. We took the long way home on purpose, past the fields and the county sign. Shed fries through a paper wrapper in a smoky bar on Main. You wrote my name on a napkin, then folded it safe in your hand. Said one day we'll leave this town, baby, like we both had a bigger plan. And every summer night felt like it would never die. We had the moon, the miles, and a fire we couldn't hide. If love was a road, we were built to run it wide. We were fire in the dark, we were bound to the spark. You were my home, I was your heart. And the hurt runs deep. I still hear your name in the engine sleep. We were fire in the dark, now I'm learning how to bleed.
Learning how to bleed.
You mailed me handwritten letters when I went west for the work. Creased corners, blue ink bleeding, like a promise in the dirt. I kept them in a cigar box with a photo and a key. 2 kids on a county bridge, thinking forever was easy. But the nights got long in the distance, and the phone line started to fray. A missed call, then another, then whole weeks slipped away. I was chasing pain in daylight, you were fighting your own ghosts. We both said I'm just tired, but it wasn't sleep we lost the most. You came back one November with rain stuck in your hair. Sat under the porch light shaking like the cold had settled there. You said my silence had a shape now, a room you couldn't enter through. And I said I was doing my best, but my best didn't reach you. And every word we lost turned to dust between our hands. The miles don't just divide, they rewrite where your heart stands. I kept holding on, you kept slipping through the sand. We were fire in the dark, we were bound to the spark. You were my home, I was your heart. Now the road runs cold and the hurt runs deep. I still hear your name in the engine sleep. We were fire in the dark, now I'm learning how to bleed.
Learning how to bleed.
Then came the little betrayals, the kind that don't make a sound. A lie left on the table, a look when I turned around, a stranger's perfume on your collar, an old receipt in your coat. The truth don't always crash through windows, sometimes it just won't float. We fought in the kitchen midnight, with the faucet dripping slow. Your tears hit the sink like thunder, mine fell where the shadows go. You said you felt abandoned, I said I felt left behind. Two people standing in the wreckage, each convinced the fault was mine. I remember an empty whiskey glass, turning circles by the sink, forgotten photographs in a shoebox, and all the things we didn't think would matter till they mattered, till the silence took the throne, till the house became a stranger, and the bed felt like a stone. And every door we closed echoed louder in the hall. The love we used to wear
Started feeling way too small.
started feeling way too small. We were built on trust, but trust can take a fall. We were fire in the dark, we were bound to the spark. You were my home, I was your heart. Now the road runs cold and the hurt runs deep. I still hear your name in the engine sleep. We were fire in the dark, now I'm learning how to bleed.
Learning how.
Another day of trouble on my back. Got my old guitar, my worn-out shoes, singing these highway blues. One more mile to forget you. Yeah, one more mile to forget you. Every turn a memory fades. Lord knows I'm tired of these heartaches. Dusty road beneath my wheels, try to outrun all these crazy feels. Your ghost still dancing in my head, wishing I just stayed in bed. Forget you. Yeah, one more mile to forget you. Every turn a memory fades. Lord knows I'm tired of these heartaches. Maybe a new town, a new face can wash away this bitter taste, but my soul still cries your name, burning me with this lonesome flame. Forget you. Yeah, one more mile to forget you. day of trouble on my back. Got my old guitar, my worn out shoes, singing these highway blues. One more mile to forget you. Yeah, one more mile to forget you. Every turn of memory fades. Lord knows I'm tired of these heartaches. Sunrise creeping through the cracks. Another day of trouble on my back. Got my old guitar, my worn out shoes, singing these highway blues. One more mile to forget you. Yeah, one more mile to forget you. Every time a memory fades, Lord knows I'm tired of these heartaches. Sunrise creeping through the cracks. Another day of trouble on my back. Got my old guitar, my worn out shoes, singing these highway blues. One more mile to forget you. We were 21 and reckless, laughing through the screen door heat. July was leaning heavy on the tar beneath our feet. You wore that worn out leather, I wore a thrift store dress, and every broken promise turned into a mountain that we'd never guess. We drove that Chevy to the county line with a tank full of borrowed time. Blue moon hanging over us like it had something to prove. You kissed me at the stop sign, I believed every word you said. Said the world could split right open and we'd still find a way ahead. Handwritten letters in your jacket, folded soft and stained with rain. I kept them in a shoebox like they could call your name. We shared old songs and future plans, a house with a crooked porch. You swore my hands were home to you, and I swore I'd guard that torch. The time got mean and quiet, it slipped in through the cracks. First it was a weekend, then it was months, and then it wrapped around the part of us that glowed until the glow fell thin. And I kept hearing silence where your voice used to begin. I still see us on Route 7, I still taste that summer rain, I still hold the shape of your goodbye like a scar I can't explain. Oh, we were fire, we were shelter, and a prayer. Now I sing your name in the dark, and only the dark is there. You gotta work out on the western edge, chasing pay and chasing breath. I stayed in that small town ballroom, counting news I never got direct. The neon buzzed above the bottles, empty whiskey glasses lined the rail, and every night the same sad clock kept dragging me behind your trail. Your mother asked if I was coping. I lied and said I was fine, while a busted jukebox played the same slow song another time. I kept your photograph in my wallet, creased at the corner, soft and warm. You smiled like you knew a secret from the life we had not yet torn. Then came the calls less often, then came the pauses in your voice, then came the little distances that never sounded like a choice. You'd say the road was cruel to you, I'd say I knew that road too well, but somewhere in the back of my chest I heard the warning bell. The days grew thin and brittle, like old receipts in summer wind. You stopped saying forever like forever had been, and every time you looked away I felt the room go cold, like a train had crossed between us and neither one of us was told. I still see us on Route 7, I still taste that summer rain, I still hold the shape of your goodbye like a scar I can't explain. Oh, we were fire, we were shelter, we were mercy and a prayer. Now I sing your name in the dark, and only the dark is there. I found a note inside my bookcase, written in a hand I knew, not from you, but from somebody who had come too close to you. It wasn't loud, it wasn't obvious, just a truth that turned the key. And all at once the room around me split apart in front of me. I drove that night until the sunrise, turned the windshield into gold, passing diners, grain and silos, and fields that never told what kind of trouble they were hiding beneath their calm and tidy face. I thought about the way betrayal can wear a smile and leave no trace. You said you never meant to hurt me, but that's the way hurt lives. Not as a thunderclap from heaven, just 100 little gifts. A missed call, a half-born answer, a lie tucked neatly in a grin, a heart that starts to wander before the body knows it's in. And I was mad, Lord, I was shattered, I was knuckles on the wall. I was a man with a busted compass,
not to lose it all.
I met you in a summer that would not let go, down by the county fair, where the river moves slow. You had your blue jeans roll and your hair in a tie, and you laughed like you knew every lie I'd ever hide. We were too young for danger, too old for a dream, but we talked like forever was a town by the stream. You wrote me on notebook paper, folded it tight, said meet me where the highway ends and the wheat fields turn white. We chased those worn out miles in a hand-me-down truck with a cracked little dash clock and a radio stud. Old highway signs glowed gold in the heat of July, and your left hand found mine when the road rose up high. We danced in a small town bar where the floorboards sighed under fading neon lights, and a jukebox inside, empty whiskey glasses, smoke curling to the ceiling fan. You looked at me like I was the only man, and we made those promises easy, like the moon had signed our names. Swore the world could come against us, still we'd burn the same. I believed every word you breathed, every kiss, every prayer. I thought love was a hard thing, but not a thing that could tear. We were fire on the wire, we were sky on the run, we were born in the summer, we were sworn to the sun. Now I'm calling your name through the rain and the storm, trying to hold on, trying to let go. Oh, we were fire on the wire, now I'm the one left low. The first cold sign was silence after midnight calls, little pauses in your voice like cracks in the walls. You said work was pulling harder, I said I understood, but the miles kept growing teeth through the edge of the woods. Letters came less often, and they came not at all. Just a postcard from a station with a crooked brick wall. I kept your photograph in the pocket of my coat, next to a receipt and a key and a line I never wrote. Then I found your name in a room I didn't know, an abandoned motel off a two-lane road. The curtains hung like guilt in the weak yellow light, and a broken record spun on through the heart of the night. A stranger's boots by the bed, your jacket on a chair, worn leather still carrying your perfume in the air. I didn't make a scene, I just stood there and stared at the shape of my whole life turned into thin air. And I wanted truth to save me, but truth came wearing scars. It had your mouth, your silence, and a stranger's hands on stars. I kept asking for the reason, you kept looking at the floor. Some hurts don't make a sound at all, they just close every door. We were fire on the wire, we were sky on the run, we were built out of summer, then we came undone. Now I'm calling your name through the rain and the storm, trying to hold on, trying to let go. Oh, we were fire on the wire, now I'm the one left low. I drove home through the midnight rain with the I met you where the summer split the small town sky in two, by the screen door at Miller's Bar, with the jukebox shining blue. You wore that worn leather jacket like you'd already lived a song, and I was just a lonely kid with a heart too big and strong. We rode out west on old blacktop with a tank full of hope and gas, past wheat fields gold as wedding rings, and a future we thought would last. You wrote my name in pencil on a folded piece of mail, said I'll be yours till the moon runs dry, and I believed it without fail. We made a world in the headlights, in a room with the windows wide. You laughed like Sunday sunshine, I felt heaven move inside. And every mile behind us felt like it was leading home. We were two kids with forever, walking where the river flows. We were burning down the midnight road, two hearts in a photograph.
Oh, two hearts in a photograph.
We swore that love would never fold, but nothing gold can always last.
Nothing Nothing gold can always last.
I can still hear your name in the wind, still taste that first goodbye. We were burning down the midnight road, then the dawn just let us die. You sent me letters in the winter, with your lipstick on the page. Said the snow was white as empty sheets, and you missed my reckless ways. I kept them in a cigar box, with a ticket stub and keys, beside a broken record spinning, and a shirt that still smelled like me. I worked late at the factory, while your light burned off away. Your voice got thin on long distance, like a radio half today. We had less to say by April, and more to hide by June. The silence sat between us, like a stranger in the room. I tried to call, you'd answer, then the line would go cold. I heard a truth inside the pauses that I was too scared to know. The road kept getting longer, and the nights kept getting thin. I could feel the shape of something breaking down from deep within. We were burning down the midnight road, two hearts in a photograph.
Oh, two hearts in a photograph.
We swore that love would never fold, but nothing gold can always last.
Nothing gold can always last.
I can still hear your name in the wind, still taste that first goodbye. We were burning down the midnight road, then the dawn just let us die. I came back through that old bar door on a rain-wet Friday night. The neon was tied coffin red on the mirror by the light. Your friends looked down at my boots like they knew the half of it, and on the counter sat your ring next to somebody else's grin. I found a photo in my jacket of you laughing by the lake, your hair blowing in the sunset, your hand on my old case. I traced the edge with shaking fingers, like it might still speak my name, but the paper knew the answer, and it never felt the same. The motel on Route 9 had a busted ice machine. The curtains moved with cold morning wind through a room that lost its dream. An empty whiskey glass was waiting on a table by the bed, and I heard every promise that we ever left unsaid. I stared at the ceiling cracking, with the storm laid out in lines, and I knew the love we'd carried was a rusted piece of time. You can hold the flame
like a prayer, and still I ended up alone. We were burning